So we're discussing different kinds of genres of writing that you'll be asked in the writing task. So report, letter, okay, or and emails and speech and articles. So let's look at the format of the report. So what could be the format of a report? So the report will definitely have a headline, all right, main headline, okay, when we call it main heading, okay, and then byline, who has written the report, and the date. Okay, these are three essential items of a report. Okay, and then there are going to be subheadings. Okay, so subheadings are very much important, are essential in report writing because subheadings improve readability. Okay, all right, readability. Okay, all right, and yes, it should have a conclusion also. Okay, any kind of direct writing that we're doing, it can't go without conclusion. Okay, all right. For instance, okay, so format of report, headline, byline, date, and subheading. Okay, subheadings improve readability. That's very much important in report writing. For example, question is write a report to your head teacher whether or not competitions in school should be organized on regular basis. Okay, so this is the question, right? So you'll be given a text A and text B to write the report about. Okay, so text A would be say in favor of writing in favor of competitions. Okay, and text B could be against competitions. All right, so this is how. So this is a question for you, and then the question obviously has those bullets, you know. Evaluate the ideas and opinions as mentioned in the text. All right. Base your opinion on what would you suggest. Base your opinion on the text, in the text, and would you how do you think it's going to be helpful or harmful for school environment, for students learning. Okay, so these are two texts that you have to do. There are two bullets that you have to address. Okay, it's very difficult for me, Taha. I'm not sure if your mic works or it doesn't. It's deliberately quiet. Does your mic work? Because it will be very difficult for me to talk to you through chat only, and I have to talk a lot then. Is your mic working? Taha, text me in the chat window. Does you? Wait 5 minutes, or I'll wait for 5 minutes. Okay.
My mic's working now.
I'm glad to know. So can you just recap whatever we have discussed so far? Please.
The format for report, you start with heading, date, title, and then subheadings for each paragraph.
Yes. Okay. Why subheadings are important?
Makes the text more readable.
Yes. Subheadings are essential because they make the text more readable. One thing. Okay. And then, for example, this is the question that you have. Write a report to your head teacher whether or not competition in schools should be organized on a regular basis. Okay. So what you'll do, you have two texts to evaluate the ideas, obviously. So what you will be doing, you'll be writing the headline first. For example, this is your page. So I'll open those texts for you as well. I'm sharing the entire screen so that it's going to be easier for me to navigate through the different windows. Okay, so this is a topic that we are looking at. Okay. All right. Now you can see there's a text here, text A and text B, and it's all about competitions. All right. So what we'll do, we'll take ideas from each text and we'll evaluate them. So it's actually on 16 years. And he says, let's be honest, school competitions often do more harm than good. Okay. So sure, they meant to be motivate kids, but how many end up feeling rubbish because they did not make the cut. All right. 2023 NHS report, National Health Science report found a 40% spike in stress related to issues among teens in schools with frequent competitions. Okay. This is a statistic that is mentioned over here. All right. So reports do have statistics as well. Okay. All right. And then it says, let's not kid ourselves. Competitions are not fair. Okay. So this is another point that he's making. So what you have to do is altogether you have to pick 4 points from each text to have a healthy content list. All right. So what we'll do, let's say we're planning for report. So we'll take 4 points from there. So one thing it says competitions, text A refers to that competitions are not fair. All right. Are not fair. Or it says there's a favoritism. All right. So first thing first, you need to know what word I can use instead of favoritism. Okay. So can anyone tell me what word can you use instead of favoritism? The word starts with N. Shazib, you're here. Is your mic working? Please make your presence count. You have to speak and participate. Yes. No, no, I won't accept chat window, please. Yes. Make sure. You don't have a mic. You should have joined with a mobile phone. Okay. Or you're on PC. Okay, now. So you need to share your content points in the chat window then. So competitions are not fair. There's a favoritism. So alternate word that we use for favoritism is it starts. So I've given you a hint.
Nepotism.
Yes, nepotism. How do you spell it?
Nepotism.
All right. Nepotism. Okay. So that's the 1 point we've taken. So altogether, you should take 4 points from each text. So first thing says competitions are not fair because they're based on nepotism. All right. So, and the other thing that I highlighted earlier in the text was, um, it says, um, so they meant to motivate, all right, and end up feeling rubbish or stress related issues. Okay. So the text says, okay, increase anxiety. So that's the alternate word of increasing the stress level, more stress level. Okay, so we have used the other word, increase anxiety. Okay, all right. Now let's look at the other one. Let's read first. This is what you should do in exam as well. So as you're reading the text, you need to annotate the ideas. Okay. So, it's real? A study by the University of Sussex showed 55% of the people in state schools felt judges favored private schools entrance in national contests. Even when you win, the pressures is relentless. Uh, take my mate Jess. She raised a regional spelling bee, but the stress of defending her title gave her more anxiety. So, see, so this is one sub point, and then there are sub points also. So we need to consider sub points to build your own opinion also. So, so it says once you win at one time, then in order to defend your title, you have to work harder, which increase the anxiety, which increase the peer pressure and parental pressure. All right. So let's write it over here. Once you win one game, all right, or once you win any competition, then to maintain that title, you are under undue peer or parental pressure. Isn't it true? So if you have achieved something, then they might expect something again from you. For instance, If you have two A stars in grade 10, so your parents might be expecting, oh, this time also is going to get 3 or 4 A stars. So there's undue parental or uh, peer or teacher's pressure as well. I would also write teacher's pressure. Okay. 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 So now let's look at that one text again. So what about teamwork? Sports days, sure, sport days, quizzes try, but they often highlight the same star pupils. The Guardian reported that a Manchester teacher in 2020 competitions create hierarchies, the gifted ones versus the rest. So you might have also seen in your school that there are only few selected students who are always participating in different competitions. Name it speech, name it football, name it any other sports or any other competition. So you'll see the selected students are always there. Okay, so it says with more competitions, what happens actually? Um, there are only exclusive students who are participating in it. Okay, and so there is the gifted students versus rest. So the other point that you get from here is the gifted versus the rest. Now you have to write that in also in your own words. So how would you change this one into your own words? Yes, Taha. And Shazib can tell me in the chat window. How can you change it into one words? The gifted versus rest.
Exceptional versus the ordinary.
Hmm? Extraordinary versus ordinary. Ordinary versus ordinary. Okay. Yes. Taha, you were saying something else. Yeah. Let me just check that in the chat window.
Exceptional versus ordinary.
Exceptional versus ordinary. Oh, can you show the text? All right. I'll show the text. You also have that in already in your group. Yes, there we go. Yes, exceptional versus ordinary. So life is one big race. Schools should nurture curiosity, not kids pupil against each other. Okay. And you know what? This is the point also that competitions create um jealousy among students. Competitions create jealousy among students. Create jealousy instead of instead of teamwork or instead of collaboration. So in teamwork, instead of teamwork, we can write the word collaboration. Okay. So these are now we can see we just skimmed through a text and we got 5 points here. Out of these five, you can actually take 4 points to debate, or maybe you can remove any one. If you feel like that is of less weightage, you can remove it. Okay. Now this is your report, planning for report text A. Now let's look at text B. This is exactly you should spend time in paper also to plan your text. You can't go without planning. Okay. So now let's read text B. And now you'll make the points yourself. I won't be helping you with text B. Okay. So let's see. You have the text here. And text B. Sukaina, 18 years. What does she say? Taha, can you read the text, please? Can you read it?
Competition when thoroughly
Just give me a minute. I'll change the
competition
screen size. Yes. Yes, there you go.
competitions when thoughtfully integrated into school curricula serve as a catalyst for academic and personal development. By fostering resilience, ambition, and collaborative skills, they prepare pupils for the real-world challenges. A 2019 study by the UK Department for Education revealed that 60 environments, attributing this to the goal-oriented mindset competitions nurture. Such activities also mirror social structures where healthy rivalry drives innovation, as Sir Ken Robinson, a renowned economist, observed in Progress. Academic benefits are equally compelling. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) reported in 2021 that British students participating in national science and math competitions scored 12% higher in standardized assessments than non-participants. These events not only reinforce subject knowledge but also cultivate critical thinking skills transferable to higher education and careers. Furthermore, team-based contests such as debating leagues or sports tournaments enhance social cohesion. A 2022 survey by Stratton Trust Fund found that 73% of employers prioritize teamwork and leadership abilities. Competitions inherently develop these traits. Critics argue that competitions exacerbate anxiety, yet structured program, a non-academic competitive scheme, reported a 67% increase in participant self-esteem according to its 2022 impact assessment. When managed equitably, competitions create diverse talents from robotics to poetry, ensuring inclusivity. As Ofsted guidelines emphasize, varied assessment methods, including competitions, cater to multifaceted learner profiles.
Okay, so now this argument was clearly in the favor of competitions with a very balanced approach. Okay, that why competitions are important. Now let's look at the um, ideas that we can write as a part of planning in text B. So there's a catalyst for academic and personal development. So text B says um, catalyst for academic and personal development. Okay, so how can we change this into our own words? If we are writing this point, how can we change that in our own words? Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, the second thing is I've left the brackets blank for you. Okay, so competitions nurture goal-oriented mindset. Okay, nurture goal, nurture goal-oriented mindset. So how can we change that in our words? Also, that's what you should have in your mind. Another thing is it says they improve um, debating leagues or sports tournaments, enhance social cohesion. All right. What is social cohesion, by the way?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Yes. Okay. So, and then it says critics argue that competitions exacerbate exacerbate anxiety, increase anxiety. Okay. And but at the same time, it says when competitions are managed equitably, they cater diverse talents. Okay. So when managed equitably, what is equity? Have you ever heard about equity? Equity, EQUITY. All right. Okay, so celebrates diverse talents. Okay, so celebrates diverse talents. Okay, then another point that we can use is this varied assessment methods in the complex category multi-facet learner profiles. Okay, do you have another point here to discuss? Can we take one more point out of it? Yes, I can see something in there which is being shared by. Shazib, I guess. Yes. Does equity mean fair grounds? Yes, Shazib, equity means fair grounds. Okay. And for example, um, when we say equality, and that the same way we say equity, equality means everyone should be given the same resource. Okay. And equity means give students things according to their needs. Okay. For example, if someone wants to see across the a wall, and if someone is short in height, okay, so someone might be given a small, same a stool of a larger size, and someone might be given a stool of small size, or someone might not be given any stool to look through the across the wall or above the wall. That is equity when you give equal resources, different resources to students according to their need. Okay, so now since we have the points for us to write a report, okay, so okay, what is the fourth point that we can take from text speed? Then the examples are given over here. All right. Oh, yes. Competitions cultivate critical thinking and skills that are required for higher education. That's an important point that we missed, actually. Yes. How are you, Xenia? All good? Okay. You know, it's dinner time for everyone. Okay, but we need to have the class anyway. So, how can you? So, I have placed brackets. Okay, where you have to tell me the how can you write the same ideas in your own words. So let's look at the first one, catalyst for academic and personal development. Yes, Taha, what can be the alternate statement for this one? Yes, Taha. Very good. You can share me in the chat window if your mic is not working. When do we use the word catalyst? All right. In chemistry, you might have read that catalyst. Catalyst increases the performance, right? I hope I'm audible to all of you. I just want to confirm that. Shazib, am I audible? Okay, yeah. Stimulus. Okay, Taha said stimulus. All right. Okay. So, catalyst means that speeds up. All right. So, catalyst for academic and personal development. You can use the word enhances, competitions, enhance, um, enhance, um, learning, and personal development. We can write down the word grooming and improves grooming. Okay. So, competitions act as to enhance learning and improves or nourish. We can write the word nourish grooming. Okay. Now, natural goal, nurture goal oriented mindset. So, okay, we can write down the alternate word makes individuals or students more focused. Okay. Um, giving opportunities to students according to their to cater their to cater diverse needs. Diverse needs. Okay. That's what you can mention here. Cultivate critical thinking, skills transferable to higher education. So more practical approach, maybe. Okay, cultivates. So you can write on the word encourages um, life learning skills, or we can say promote life um, lifelong skills. All right, lifelong skills. Okay, that's what you can see. You know, or competitions make children or students ready for the world. Okay, now, so this is how you are actually you're developing your points by not only writing those in your own words, but you are actually developing each idea. So in the brackets that you can see the words that are written, those are not only the translations or maybe paraphrasing of those statements that are written there, but those can be developed further also. And that is what you need to do. Okay. So so now tell me what could be the title of your report? This was the report that you have had to write. Write a report to your head teacher whether or not competition in schools should be organized on a regular basis. Now, what is so we were looking at the format of the report. So the report should have sorry, should have heading, then byline, then date, then subheadings. Right? So how would you be writing a report? Now you have the content already available for you for both text. Planning is done. Okay. Now you have the content to write. Can you develop it from here? Will it be easier for you to develop it from here? I'll put that here for you all. You can take a screenshot for text day planning, and then you can take a screenshot of text B planning. There we go. We have both texts already. Yeah. Now, will it be easier for you to write a report? Silence is golden, I know that. But I need reply. In second half of the class, because we're done with first half of the class, right, and we'll take a quick 10 minutes break in between after 2 minutes. Okay. And then once we come back, then we will be writing a report together. Okay. So keep your take a screenshot of this um, planning, and then you will be writing a report. Yes, who is there now? So can you show the format again? Okay, yes, Xenia, why not? We've done report, we'll be doing letters and other formats as well. Okay, so this is a report format, Xenia. Heading, byline, date, and then subheadings, and then the conclusion. Okay, and this is your question. Yeah. Write a report to your head teacher whether or not competition in schools should be organized on a regular basis. And the text that we read this was already in the booklet that I've shared with all of you. So we'll take, and we have to write a report together. I hope it's going to be a good strategy to write a report together so that you plan your report better. So once you'll be reading text A in the paper, I would suggest you to make this sort of planning for that is going to be very much helpful for you. Okay, so you write the statement from the from the text, then you write the alternate in the bracket, which will help you to write text as more and more in your own words. Then at least 4 points from there, 4 points from text A, 4 points for text B. Okay, and then you may in order to and then you develop your ideas further. Okay. So let's take a quick 10 minutes break. We'll be joining straight at 9:05. Okay? Same link. I'm not changing the link at all. On the same link, you all will be joining at 9:05. All right? Take care of yourself. Let's have a break. Any question if you have, you can drop me in the chat window. So do join back at 9:05. All right? Take care of yourself. Laugh.